You sometimes have to be comfortable being uncomfortable. Hey guys, welcome to my channel, K Fits My Life. Want to do another quick little vlog video on being comfortable being uncomfortable. Now, I know on this channel I talk a lot about my experience growing up as a Jehovah's Witness and in leaving that organization, all the things I had to go through. But what I'm going to talk about today matters in more than just terms of the organization. It matters in terms of life in general. Sorry, bugs. Outdoor shoot. Because a lot of times you're going to experience times in your life where you're going to experience some uncomfortability. And the only way that you can reach or attain the goal you're trying to get to is by being okay with the uncomfortability that you're going to confront. Now, in leaving the organization, it was very uncomfortable because I was at the time still married to someone who was still in the organization. So, you know, I went from being in a Jehovah's Witness marriage to me being an unbelieving mate, which was kind of uncomfortable because she still was going to the hall and going to the meetings and having book studies, and I was so done with that. And I actually hated it to the point that it literally would turn my stomach when I would see her reading books published by the organization and going to meetings. It really just made me really kind of sick to my stomach. But once I left that organization, that uncomfortability turned into the uncomfortability of me being homeless. And so that was an extremely uncomfortable situation. And it lasted for a couple of years. But the only way I got to the point to where I am now is because I had to embrace that uncomfortability. And what do I mean by that? Well, you know, the first day when I was homeless, I remember having all these bags of clothes in my car and wondering, what the hell am I going to do with all this shit? So the first thing I did, and I've talked about this before, but I'm just going to touch on it. The first thing I did was I went to Kroger and I gave almost all of that shit away because I knew that for the most part, I really didn't need a bunch of that stuff, right? So once I did that and I started setting things up, you know, I couldn't just stay in my car all day because it was 100 degrees outside. It was hot. And plus, I didn't want to be some bum just sitting in my car all day. I needed to achieve something. So it was very uncomfortable being in a situation that I had never been in before, where I didn't have anywhere to go and I didn't know what the day would bring because I was going to be out in the world every day. So once I started to set things in motion, you know, getting the storage unit that I talk about, getting the gym membership, figuring out how, you know, how and when to park at places and how late I needed to get there so I wouldn't be, you know, thrown off for the property and things like that. And then once I started figuring out, okay, I need to rebuild my credit. And that was an uncomfortable situation because, especially, you know, being a man, you don't want to admit that you have something that's really messed up about you. And I had to admit, dude, your credit is trash. And you're not going to be able to do anything in life with this messed up credit score. You're going to have to fix this. So I fixed that, and I had to call people, and I had to admit that my credit was messed up. I had to go to the bank and talk to people, and they had to look at me like, who's this black dude with this messed up credit? That was uncomfortable. It was uncomfortable just being in the parking lot of the Walmart, and sometimes people see you, you know, laying back in your car, or when I would wake up in the mornings, and sometimes I would have to go and deliver packages because I also delivered packages for Amazon. I was doing everything I could to get as much money as I could, as quickly as I could. So there would be times I would wake up in the morning, I would immediately just pop over my trunk and get my wash rag because I had a gallon of water. I'll just pour some water on the wash rag and on my toothbrush, wash my face and brush my teeth right there in the Walmart parking lot in front of everybody. And then I would just go and start delivering packages. But I did what I had to do, no matter how uncomfortable it was. Yeah, being out in front of people and having people see you brush your teeth and wash your face and see them, seeing them watching you get out of your car, knowing that you had been sleeping in there all night, was a very uncomfortable feeling. But I overcame that feeling because I just said, I have a goal and I'm reaching my goal. I see it materializing. I see it coming to fruition, which that made the uncomfortability of what I was going through so much more bearable. It made it so bearable to the point that I wasn't really even uncomfortable in the situation anymore. It became so commonplace and so normal that it was not even uncomfortable. And now that I have, a nicer car and a nice place to lay my head at night, I know that no matter what happens, I'll be okay because I've been through one of the most uncomfortable times in my life. That also relates to leaving the organization because I just got an email from someone who was asking me, how do you feel now that you've left the organization? Have you found God? Have you found, spirituality? Just a few moments ago. And I replied, that I don't need to look outside of myself for what I feel like I need to find in that aspect. And the person replied, yeah, I just feel like when I have thoughts like that, it's the devil. And that is the part of the uncomfortability I'm talking about, because when you leave that organization, you feel uncomfortable with the thoughts you begin to have. You start thinking, okay, I don't want to be part of this organization. I don't believe this stuff anymore. I think what they're saying is a lie. And then at the same time, you start thinking, this must be the devil. This must be Satan, the devil. And you start thinking these thoughts, and you've been so programmed not to think that way that you're uncomfortable with yourself thinking those thoughts. And that uncomfortability prohibits you from getting to the point of being comfortable enough to be comfortable with your decision to leave the organization. So when I say you have to be uncomfortable, or you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable, even in this aspect, when you're leaving the organization, you're going to be extremely uncomfortable for a while. You're going to be uncomfortable with not going to the meetings anymore. You're going to be uncomfortable thinking that shit was a lie and I can't believe that I spent so many years of my life in that organization. You're going to be uncomfortable with the fact that you may not see your family anymore. You're going to be uncomfortable with the fact that you may not see your friends anymore. You're going to be uncomfortable with the fact that you might be alone sometimes for an extended period of time. But solitude is all about your attitude. And I'm going to put a video about that. Here's a link right here. My point is, there is no way that you are going to reach a level of comfort unless you are willing to travel through the realm of uncomfortability to reach the point where you finally have found the comfort that you're looking for. Don't be afraid to be uncomfortable, because that discomfort will be minuscule when you reach the place of comfort that you're looking for. So I don't want to turn this into a rant. I think that's all I have to say. I'm going to be doing a live stream tonight about the importance of young black people voting, because being a Jehovah's Witness, I never voted. We weren't allowed to. So I'm going to talk to some people about the importance of voting tonight. I'm going to do another live stream next week, and I'm not going to tell you guys the title yet, but just tune in. I think it's going to be a very important one. And again, guys, thank you so much for watching my channel, supporting it. I really appreciate the support. And I have another surprise I think that may be happening really soon. It's going to be kind of a big announcement, and I'm pretty excited about it. But I'll tell you guys more about that in the days to come. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you all on the next one. All right, peace.